Welcome once more to Conchoi's Kitchen. And if this is your first time stopping by, I'd like to say a very warm akwaaba to you. Today I'm sharing with you a simple recipe as part of our village series, the Efienifie series. And this is going to be nyaadoa abomu, that is garden egg sauce, prepared in the earthenware pot. This time no food processor, things like typical village style. And I'm using nothing other but garden eggs from my garden, which makes it more village style because you know in the village everybody has their own farm where they get their produce from to cook with. I'm super excited every time I get to cook with my own stuff from my garden, you know. As the saying goes, eat what you grow, grow what you eat. I love that. It makes my heart so happy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's going to be simple and fast, and I hope it makes you want to eat. It makes you think about your village whenever you visit it, or if you live there, whatever. It brings good, heartwarming memories to you. Okay, I won't say much. Let's do some cooking. I hope you enjoy this.
So earlier this year, I found this eggplant, white eggplants in Walmart. They were seedlings, and I was super excited when I found them. I was hoping that they'll be like the white garden eggs that we have in Ghana. They're not really like garden eggs. They're still eggplants, but they're white, and they are very similar when you cook it. Whatever you make is similar to using garden eggs, and it's doing beautifully in my garden. So on this day I decided to just use it to make abomu. You see some of it is even getting yellow. You can use the yellow ones. I have made some soup with it when it was a little bit wrinkled, like my mom would want me to. But just look at the beauty. Like, for me to be able to pick these from my own backyard to make a meal out of it, that is just so amazing. It's just exciting. I have a lot of the purple one, but the white one I'm hoping to plant 2 more next year. So I brought it inside and I went in my freezer and dug up some of my stinkies. I have my momone. This is momone. I have my kako somewhere there, and I'm just so excited pulling out all these good things like to make my village style abomu. So I have some kako, and I also have some momone, but I don't know if I'm going to use some of that. I think I'll use a little bit of that, a combination of momone and momone. When sa it crosses down the trimu pa momone na trimu ajimono. You just won't believe it. Anyway, you know your kako is very salty. So for you to be able to get some of the salt out, I'm soaking it as soon as I even start. Sometimes I soak it for hours, like way ahead of time. And the other ingredients I'll be using are my palm oil, of course, my eggplants. I have some onions, some avocado, my momone and kako, and some tomatoes. I have some fresh tomatoes as well. So look, it's just pulling all that salt out of the fish, and that is what you want. So kako is cod. I think it's salted cod. So I have tomatoes, peppers, and my momone as well, and I'm going to wash them. So I wash them first, and now I'm going to cut off the heads. Just like that. And so I want you to see how it looks on the inside. So I told you it's more like a regular eggplant. It has a lot of seeds, but it's white. The only thing is, as soon as you cut it up, it's going to start oxidizing. So you want to just rinse it off or cook it right away. You know, when it oxidizes, sometimes when you rinse it again, some of that color will come off. So you see it's changing color already, and I'm going to quickly boil it. And because this is so salty, I rinse the kako and change the water about 3 times, because the water pulls the salt out of the fish, and if the fish remains staying in it, it doesn't do any good to it. So you change out the water so you get some of the saltiness out. And this I'm going to cook on my garden eggs, so it pulls more salt out, and I'm thinking it's going to flavor your vegetables as well. You know, na abomu na yɛ more, not just wasting that salty and, you know, aroma of the water. So tomatoes, no, yeah, we are roasting our tomatoes, and in the village we would have done it in our muchia or you know, our coal pot, but I am just doing it over the flame of my cooker instead of doing it on the grill. Or you could actually use your broiler, you know, the oven, using the broiler setting to get the charring on your tomatoes as well. But this works as well. You could do it on your grill outside, on your stovetop grill, whatever way you choose, or just boil it. It's totally up to you. But I really wanted to have it roasted into sayatoto, and it's doing perfectly. I put some skewers. These are kebab sticks. They are metal ones, so skewers in to help me just be able to rotate it so it cooks on evenly on all sides. And so it's done now. So I'm slicing some shallots, known as a santujene, back home to bring some more flavoring into my palm oil. And I'm going to cook this together with the momone in the palm oil, like more like fry them. So here's my palm oil. This is nkwango, straight up nkwango from my mom. It's delicious already. I really don't need all this, but I want that momone flavor, you know, momone me said cherry. So here they are, a lot of stinkies, you know, stinky but good. You really need to try it, you know. And I am adding my shallots at this point, and I'm just going to let them all cook. So the momone is going to end up a little bit on the fried side, and the onions are going to caramelize. So you can just imagine the aroma, the flavor. You can just, you know, meanwhile, just have your scented candles on, okay? Turn on the fan above your range, open your windows, because in as much as it's delicious, you just don't want anybody coming into your house, walking into your house with all these bundle smells, tell you, you know. So candles, fans, windows open. Yeah, you got it. So I'm going to let the momone and shallots fry for about 2 more minutes on low heat. And I'm checking on my garden eggs. They're doing beautifully. As you can see, it cooked beautifully. It looks almost like regular garden eggs. And I have some extra shallots right now sliced, and that I'm going to start my abomu with. And that salt, you know, I'm using coarse salt, so it helps you to grind better, faster. And today, yes, we are going village style, real village style. I'm using my asanka, yes, because you could take the girl out of the village, but you ain't taking the village out of her. No, there's still a lot of village in me when I want to pull it all out. And today I'm coming out full swing, you know, village girl lankasa. The momone has fried to the way I want it, and now I'm going to put that right in now, and I'm going to just grind it or mash it, whichever way you want to call it. Just look at that. So I'm just going to grind it until it is very smooth, and then I'll add my garden eggs to this. So I strained my vegetables, of course, and whilst it's still piping hot, because you want your bone to still be hot when you eat it, I'm just going to go ahead and just mash it in the asanka. Just look, this to me looks really, it looks a lot like garden eggs, you know, regular white garden eggs from back home, except for that the amount of seeds that it has, but it's still good. I was just so excited the first time I cooked it, and I am just happy I have this in my backyard. If I use the blender to, you know, making soup with it, you couldn't tell the difference because the blender will take care of all the seeds, and it's gonna be just perfect. Perfect. So if you garden or you want to plant this, I found this in Walmart, and come next year, you know, when spring comes and I'm gonna go get it again, when I find it, I'll let you know so we can all plant together. Okay. So now we're just going to mash our garden eggs, and I really normally wouldn't like it very fine, but because of the seeds, I'm going to try as much as possible to crush as many of the seeds that I can. But otherwise, I like the actual garden eggs, you know, the fleshy part of the garden eggs. I like to have my abomu a little bit on the chunky side. But this still works. I'm just happy to be eating from my garden, you know, something organic, something I watch grow. Just so good. And this is smelling good already, because you know what? Bra and it's sister momone, you know, we have the momone family in here, and they bring in so much flavor and aroma. And look at my charred tomatoes. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and put them in and mash them as well. Look at that. Look at all the juices coming out. Just beautiful. Beautiful. So you could be like me when I'm trying to be all sophisticated and all, and just go ahead and do this in your food processor. It's really faster, and it yields the same results. Like really, there's no difference in taste, really no difference in taste. So sometimes I wonder, why do we have to go to all that work to have it this way? But I'm just doing this for culture, you know, just for culture. And just look at this. Is that not beautiful? And my abomu is done at this point. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour my palm oil on it, put the rest of my toppings, you know, and we'll be good to go. Food is gonna be ready just like that. 30 minutes or less, and you're done, ready to enjoy the goodness of village style, goodness of homemade, good, nutritious food. And just look at the palm oil. Look at the onions, so caramelized. And now I just pour that over this. Such goodness, such goodness. And now I'm just going to stir a little bit. I just try to lift around it. I really don't want my oil to be all mixed up because, you know, this is all part of the garnishing. So it's not that much oil, but because it's not all mixed up, it's going to sit around it and, you know, it's going to be looking like it's a lot of oil. But once